So I was having an emotional conversation with a friend of mine the other day, and I was getting angry and frustrated. And then, in the middle of that, I just laughed, or smiled, because I've gotten better about sort of personifying these two parts of how humans interact. You have that intuition, your emotions, this is just your gut reaction. Like this makes me happy, so I'm gonna be happy, or this makes me sad or angry or whatever it is. And then you have your logical thinking side of your brain, like, hey, maybe you shouldn't act on that, maybe you shouldn't think that way, maybe you shouldn't do these things. But kind of viewing these two systems as separate entities, as separate people, and having understanding that both these people need to exist, and to fully silence either of them is problematic. Like they both exist, they both need to have a voice. Now, most people tend to just go with their intuition exclusively, and then use their second system, their intelligence and logic to kind of defend and almost like this Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde thing where Dr. Jekyll kind of defends Mr. Hyde in a way. He feels like because they're in the same system, they are the same person, and thus you have to find a logical way to defend this intuition and just gut reactions. And I think that's silly. I think there's a way that you can honor your gut reactions and your intuition and honor logical, almost stoic thinking. And I've been trying to learn how to let my logical brain give my stoic brain room to breathe, but also but contain it enough that I don't have to. I'm not a slave to my emotions or what I'm feeling in the instant. Because I've started doing this where I'll in a conversation I feel a certain way because it's instantaneous. It's oh, okay, I feel this, and I'll commit to things and say stuff, and the student a couple of hours after that, looking back at that conversation, wow, I'm oh, I feel differently now. Okay, now that I'm able, out of the moment, my intuition system's not firing on all cylinders here, I feel differently. And so what I've learned to do is I respect my stoic, my logic brain by not making huge amounts of commitments when I'm in a position where my intuition is firing, but I'm also respecting my intuition brain by saying hey, you have a space, yeah, and to express how you feel in the moment. Doesn't mean we need to do anything different, but you need to be acknowledged, and that's okay. And so I was in this conversation where I was just I was feeling very emotional, and I just kind of not even stopped, but just my thinking part of the brain looked back and was why really being dramatic, basically? It's I'm letting you express your emotions, but kind of analyzing it from a bit of a third party, which that stoic brain can, is it was almost adorable. I was aw, you're being all emotional and not handling this super well, and being able to almost laugh at those two systems. Laugh at the separation between those two systems was very, very freeing. And the first one was yeah, you're right. Okay, chill. And that logical thought talking to my emotional, an intuition brain, caused that intuition brain to switch a little bit from anger to laughter. So I was I just middle of this almost fight. I'm and I'm just smiling. So say that to give permission to allow these two systems to coexist, and they're both necessary. Neither of them is bad. Both of them have their uses, and to just demonize either is problematic. But you can respect them both, yet but not be a slave to either.